Hey, hey, are you excited to start a new life with me? A new journey, one that your manufacturer never intended for you. This is your destiny.
Hey, welcome back to So Yesterday. My name's Colin, your host. Today we're doing a very fun project that is very fun and different and quirky, so... Hey, welcome back to So Yesterday. Because I saw a meme on Instagram and it's been stuck in my head for like weeks now. And now I have to make it because I just want to be the quirky friend in the friend group, so... Hey, welcome back to Here's the meme. Here, I want to pull up the meme so that we can look at it together at the same time because I just think it's the funniest. It's so stupid. So we're gonna do two versions of it because when I first thought, I was like, that's a really cool idea for just like a normal like Nike beanie. So I was like, I want to turn it into a real hat that you can actually wear. But then I showed my friends and they were like, Colin, you have to make the bob. And I was like, I know, I have to make the bob. You're right, I have to make the bob. So we're gonna do both today. So I bought some socks. So I picked up some socks. I went to the store and I was like, excuse me, Mr. Store Attendant, I'm looking for socks that will make a good wig application. And they were like, right this way, sir. I have just...
I just had a good cry in the mall parking lot. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just here to buy some socks so I can sew a wig. Because this isn't normally how you build a hat. So last night I kind of drafted a little template piece that I'll be cutting out of the socks and did a little trial run with some leftover fleece. I know, I have no way of seeing myself right now, but I know it looks ridiculous. Basically the idea is that I measured my head and discovered that it's about 22.5 inches in circumference. And the width of each of these sock panels is 3 inches. The elastic will actually use 8 panels to make it all the way around my head. That comes up to 20 inches. But you want it to be a little bit tighter than your actual head because you want it to fit on there snugly and not just flop off. So let's start with the actual beanie, like the knot bob. So yeah, you will need 8 socks for this. I actually want to sew the hat twice, and one will be the outer piece, one will be the lining piece. We'll stitch it together and then that'll hide all the raw seams. And the socks are actually kind of like knit all the way to the top, finished, and then they are folded over and hemmed. There's a thread that kind of goes through and weaves this top part down to hem it. I'm gonna cut that out. They kind of look like little arm warmers, like Avril Lavigne style, like, you know, like this. Do you remember when that was a thing? I'm like shaking. I've had so much caffeine today. Like, do you guys see how much I'm shaking my scissors right now? Like, okay, hang on. I'm trying not to be dramatic. I'm holding them as still as I can. I want to do this properly, which means we're just gonna go for it, y'all. This is kind of turning into like one of those weird scenes from one of my nightmares. Like, like copious amounts of like weird shaped objects like randomly causing trouble in day-to-day life. Feels like very something like I would have a nightmare about. Like there's just like, oh no, there's too many beans in my bathtub. Is actually start piecing them together and just sewing them together. I think we'll do like 2 at a time and just sew them right sides together with a little straight stitch. Nothing too crazy, making sure we line things up nicely. So we have the option of having the swooshes going all the same way or changing directions. I think I want them to change directions because I think that looks a little bit cooler and more like interesting as opposed to having them all be like symmetrical. The other thing that we're doing is we're sewing 2 separate hats, right? So 8 of these triangles are going together to form one hat. 8 of them are going together to form the lining hat inside. I guess in theory you could use whatever you want. You could use different material for the lining. It's just easier, in my opinion, to do two and make it the same and even, and they stretch the same, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody's making.
So I ended up with 2 hats. I know, very complex math. Bust out your TI-83s if you got lost there. And these 2 hats I'm gonna sew together. One is gonna be what you see on the outside. One is gonna be like the inner lining, so that we can, you know, add a little bit more thickness and structure to the hat, but also cover up this hot mess express of like things. So to do that, we are going to sew right sides together, and I'm just gonna literally go and like sew along the inside. And you will get to a point where you are unable to sew any further, which is fine because you're gonna use that little leftover spot to turn the hats inside out and stuff one into the other. And then the rest you will have to hand stitch to kind of invisibly seal off that little opening. So that is what we're gonna do now. Hey, it's like a day later, but this hat is finished. The last clip you saw was me just hand sewing close that little closure. I do need to go back and just put like a little tack at the top of the hat to keep the lining in place and stop it from like slipping out. But it's cute. I really like it. I think it's like, I don't know, very like, it's more professional looking than I thought it would be. I kind of genuinely thought it would just look like socks. I feel like kind of high fashion for some reason wearing this Nike brand hat. Like it definitely, Next, we're gonna sew a damn wig, y'all. Get ready, wig snatched. And figure out the side pieces first, and then we'll work on the bangs. This is what a weird sentence that is. As I cut socks. So we need 2 socks to be the side pieces. So then we have these 2 sock panels, and I think what I'm gonna do is just add a little bit of a dart at the top to create a little bit of roundness so it'll actually fit onto my head. So using this shape again, I think I'm just gonna place it and sew a dart along that folded side. Oh shit. I put that in the wrong way. Oh no. Oh, and it's knit material. This is gonna be impossible. Oh my god, I did it again. Oh! So here's the situation. I'm pretty sure in the back, you want there to be like a center seam, and then these back panels to come like up to a point just at the crown of my head. So I'm gonna cut a bit of a curved shape into them, I think. So a little curved edge, and then attach one of these kind of darted panels along the back seam, and then reassess. Oh no, I didn't match up. I didn't match up the leg. Girl's got a choppy haircut, oh no. Okay, so we do need a little bit more in the back, just here, but I want it to be like the right amount so that this is gonna sit as flat as possible. I don't want it to like be flaring out as much. So, God, this is tough. This is really hard. Also, it's starting to go a little A-line. Oh my god. So something I do want to fix is I am getting a little bit of like a bowing out. So just along all of the seams that I've made at the bottom, I'm just gonna go back and take in a little bit extra, and that'll give it more of that like tapered bob look, you know? Y'all know what I'm saying? This is a really legit tutorial. So here is the wig. Here's the bob done so far. I don't have bangs yet. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do bangs. It's actually quite difficult to get it to lay perfectly flat. When I did the beanie, it relies on like the fact that that is actually smaller than my head and it'll stretch to accommodate it, which will smooth out all of the seams. Whereas this, it's like you don't really want it to stretch onto your head. You just want it to sit on there, which makes it I never thought sewing a wig out of socks would be like something I would put on like the challenging list. These two final panels that I've cut of the Nike logo, and I've given them more black width than normal. So instead of cutting it straight down the middle, and we will do a little bit of the curved shape just because we want it to kind of like, you know, we want the 80s kind of bangs a little bit, I think. So let's do a little curved shape down the middle of where we affix them. It's actually been it's been like almost a week, and I finished the wig the same day that I was talking to you guys. I actually had to re-sew this like front bang section a million times, and I'm still not quite happy with the way that it sits. It is different than the original, I will say that, but I do like the way that it turned out in the end. And I wanted to go get a haircut because I wanted it to be like, you know, I wanted the wig to fit like a wig. Like I wanted it, I don't own a bald cap properly, so I could really be wearing it. Like this could actually be my hair. 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 9 panels on this actually. Like 9 Nike logo panels. Some of them I left as big wide sections. Some of them I cut into smaller strips. They're not like symmetrically sewn either because I just kind of wanged it. I made it like a long center part seam, bangs that actually hit in the front, and then in the back side it is all like darted in, so it all comes up to the crown point of the wig. And that, you know, gave me the best result in the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Here are the reveal shots of what I actually ended up creating. Someone at work was like, the Nike logos kind of remind me of eyebrows. You should pull it down and make them look like your eyebrows. And now I'm kind of obsessed with like this as a photo idea. But yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up because it, you know, would mean the world to me. It would mean so much to me. And subscribe, etc. I hope you guys are liking the sewing content. You know, I have these strong intentions on doing more films than just sewing. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye. I keep wanting to make like a Makara Tubers reference to like what this shape is called, because she always makes references in her videos to like things being the shape or size of other objects that are totally unrelated to sewing, if you know who I mean. But this shape is like the same shape of like this little wooden ornament that I had at home that was like of my estranged half brother's face. And I just want to confirm that with my mother. Yeah. I have a question for you. Do you remember in our old entertainment center, like the one with the glass, there used to be a picture, and I think it was it of Jamie, like my half brother Jamie, and it was like a wooden ornament that was shaped like a rounded, you know, with a point. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Do you still have that? Do you know where it is? And it's like, it reminds me perfectly of the shape of that like wooden ornament. So I want to include it in the video as like, this is what it should look like. I'll blur out his face or something, but that's so funny that you know exactly what I mean. I was like, I was wondering if you threw it out or something, but so I was like trying to make a reference to it, and I was like, I don't remember if it's my half brother or if it's Jesus. Okay, guys, my mom really just like came through in such an amazing way and went into like the storage in her closet and found the picture I was referencing, and you cannot tell me it is not the same shape. I'm dying at the fact that my mom knew exactly what I was talking about and was like, yeah, here, let me send you a picture of it. She's incredible. What a woman.